Hey guys, welcome to special edition of the Russian Football News Predictions League, the Europa League predictions. Now, we've only got two games tonight, both of hugely significant proportions, but slightly different ways. So, guys, the headline game will be, of course, Manchester United Rostov, but first up, we've got Krasnodar against Celta Vigo. So, guys, those of you who have already played the Predictions League game, the Europa League predictions game, it's just for a bit of fun. All you've got to do, predict what you think the scoreline will be in both of the games involving Russian clubs tonight. And if you get the perfect scoreline, so for example, if you predicted 1-1 last week between Rostov and Manchester United, you get 3 points. If you get the correct result but the wrong scoreline, you get 1 point, and you get the wrong result altogether, you get 0. It's as simple as that. Anyhow, guys, get involved. Put your predictions below. I'm just going to give my thoughts for a minute or two on both games, and just to give you a little hint to what you might go for yourself. So, first up, Krasnodar at home to Celta Vigo. The first leg, they got the away goal, that crucial away goal, and were looking pretty comfortable, I would say, under some pretty intense pressure. They were holding out well at 1-1 until the 90th minute they conceded. So 2-1. They're 2-1 down in aggregate, but they have the away goal. So, in theory, 1-0 could be enough for Krasnodar. Fyodor Smolov is definitely out for another few weeks. So it looks like Wanderson is going to play up front. He did pretty well, actually, in the league, in that role. And let's see. This is what I think the team will be. I think we'll line up something like Krytsiuk in goal, Kalishin, Grankvist, Naldo and Christian Ramirez at left-back, Charles Cabaret, Podborozkin, Gazinski, and Wanderson, Klaassen, and now who's the third forward going to be? That's the question. I actually think we might see, possibly Podborozkin might play further forward, and we might see Mauricio Pereira in midfield. However, the main point is Smolov is missing. That is a shame. So 1-0 looks like being the best chance Krasnodar have. I think it will be 1-0. Celta Vigo are struggling on paper in the league. They're only 10th in La Liga after one of their best seasons in years last season. I'm worried particularly about this Pione Sisto up front. He is lightning quick. He almost reminds me of Frank Achimpong for Anderlecht against Zenit in the last round. Just so quick, so dangerous on the break. However, I'm going for a 1-0 win for Krasnodar and to go through on away goals. And that would be the furthest Krasnodar have ever got in European competition. Now, on a slight side note, had Porto beaten Juventus last night in the Champions League, we might be talking in slightly different tones about how important it was for Russian teams tonight to win, or at least get a result, for coefficient points. But big news is, Porto lost, and that means it is now confirmed that Russia will have 3 Champions League places, not next season, but the season after, so after the World Cup, which is fantastic news, because once you've got the 3rd Champions League spot, it's easier to hold on to it. You've got more teams entering Europe. Anyhow, that's a side issue for another day. Krasnodar 1, Celta Vigo 0, Krasnodar to go through on away goals. That's my call there. Rostov against Manchester United. Now, this is going to be a huge game for Rostov. The biggest away game, certainly, in the history. Now, 1-1 from the first leg. Alexander Bukharov scored a brilliant goal. Really well taken. One touch, and then slid it past Sergio Romero in United's goal to equalise. So, 1-1. That is a pretty good result for Rostov at home. It does mean they have to score, though. That is going to be the main problem. Now, the question is, how are they going to line up to do this? Personally, I think he's going to go with Bukharov again. Sardar Azmoun is the headline grabber. He's the star name, certainly in Western media. They love to go on about Azmoun and how he's been linked with Everton and other clubs around Europe. I personally don't see him as valuable as Dimitri Polos. It's just my opinion. I think Polos offers more. He's more versatile. He's more dangerous. He's quicker. Azmoun is a great finisher, and don't get me wrong, he has earned the right to get a move to another club. But this is how I see it going. I think Manchester United will be without pardon me, without Wayne Rooney, without Anthony Martial, they're going to be big misses. And it's... I don't know, I think there's going to be a bit of tension around the game. Mourinho was complaining, justifiably so, to be fair, about the pitch in Rostov, which, by the way, in case you haven't already seen, the Russian Premier League has deemed it unfit for play, despite UEFA saying it was fit for play a week earlier. A bit shady that, if you ask me. Anyhow, this game tonight, I think Rostov are going to line up with Medvedev in goal. It looks like Sozlan Janaev will not be fit for the game. I think it's quite hard to see exactly how the defence will line up because Timofey Kalichov suspended. Big loss. He, of course, had the assist for Bukharov in the first leg. He's suspended, as is Alexander Gatskan for the fifth time this season. So I think the defence possibly will look like this. Igor Kirev filling in at right wing-back. Michal Mevlia, Fyodor Kodrashov and Cesar Navas as the three centre-backs, and Denis Terentiev at left wing-back. Not ideal, but that's how I see it going. Kristen Nabora, Prepelita, I can't pronounce his first name, so don't ask me to, and Alexander Yerokhin in the midfield, Prepelita in place of Gatskan. Now that's going to be a big miss. Polos and Bukharov up front with Azmoun to come off the bench in the second half. Losing Gatskan is a big problem for Rostov because he's dirty as he is, and I can't believe I'm saying it again, 5 suspensions already. He's only played, I think, 21 or 22 club games this season at all, and he's 5 bans in that time. Anyhow, he brings a combative edge to the proceedings. He's put himself about a bit in the first leg. He unsettled United's midfield a bit, and unpleasant as some people may find that, it is a role that needs to be played. Rostov do not have the natural ability or quality outright to beat United, but what they do have is they have the tenacity, they have the organisation, they have the system that depends on Gatskan being the anchor, allowing Christian Noboa to be more attacking, and Alexander Yerokhin too. Anyhow, unfortunately for Russian fans, I don't see them quite having enough in the bank, although I do think it's going to be very close, and I think Rostov will score. I think Manchester United will have just enough. I think they will win 2-1, in other words, going through 3-2 on aggregate. But I think we're going to see an entertaining game. I do not think it's going to be as much of a given as a lot of people might have thought before this season. Anyhow, though, that's what I think is going to happen tonight. I think Krasnodar will go through, probably on away goals, winning 1-0, and I think Manchester United will have just enough to knock out Rostov, and they will go through 2-1. Anyhow, if you agree or disagree, send your comments in the box below, and tell me what you think will happen. I'll enter your predictions into the Predictions League, the Europa League Predictions League, and I will publish the latest tables after tonight. So anyway, guys, I hope you join in, hope you enjoy it. Good luck, and we'll see what happens.